Hello guys, it's Chunker here doing a Bottleman discussion. This time, I want to talk about if power types are unique enough. So I've been talking about Balman types for a while now. Last year I talked about, control types and multi-types, last month speed types, all in kind of their own way, and I thought, well, now it's power types' turn. Power types are in a pretty unique situation because I feel like, unlike control types and multi-types, they absolutely have to exist, and their reason for existing is pretty straightforward. Unlike speed types and control types though, they don't have any actual accessories, so they're kind of in a weird spot where their cores are effectively their main gimmicks, and do they do enough to make these actually unique and stand out, or was some work needed? So I'm going to go ahead and start off with the prototype line, and of course, the first Bottleman in said line is going to be Kolomaru. Obviously, Kolomaru is fine. I don't think anyone has an issue with it. It has the drive strip. I mean, it's a power type. It does what it needs to do as a basic power type, so nothing to complain about there. Another one that I don't think is really worth complaining about is going to be Wonder Grape. Wonder Grape is a vertical shooter, which is pretty interesting, something that is unique to Bottleman because of how caps work. I think making this a power type, fair enough. I don't have problems with this. Again, it is fairly unique, so I think it's good. And for the last of the kind of good prototype Bottleman, we have 10 Satan. This just has like plastic hold parts and stuff, but has the power buckle, which separates these wings further, adding tension to the hold parts, which I think is a pretty good idea. Again, works as a good power gimmick. Nothing insane, but again, definitely functional. The problem kind of comes after that, and there isn't really a ton else that they really did here. I mean, you had Keps, but this just has basic plastic hold parts, and the whole thing is the tilt gimmick. You tilt this part kind of downward, there's 0 degree, 5 degree, 10 degree. But it's kind of stupid. I don't really think it needs to exist like this, if I'm being honest. I don't think Keps was a great one. It's a weird gimmick. I think there's a good reason why they did not bring this back for Keps DX, but yeah, it just kind of is boring, I'm not gonna lie. Additionally, I don't really care much for Fusion Black either. I think Fusion Black, this thing is basically just blend dragon parts. I feel like Rising Milk does a very good job standing on its own. This thing really doesn't. At the long trigger, you have roller hold parts, which is already weird enough. I guess, like, the metal cap is kind of cool, but, I mean, it's not that crazy. The rest of this thing, I guess, at the metal weighting, sure, but I don't know, it almost feels more like a control type in some ways than a power type, but yeah. Again, it just feels like parts for Blend Dragon. So yeah, the prototype line I'm not huge on personally. I feel like what we got was really just the bare minimum. Drive strip, part that gives extra tension, and then I guess for Balman's case a vertical shooter, that's cool, but yeah. Beyond that, the other two gimmicks, they didn't really do a whole lot. I don't think there was enough here to really make the power type stand out. I don't think they did enough with, these things to make them interesting. Wonder Grape's cool, smart use of, caps I would say, but beyond that, just fairly bare bones. Moving on to Balman DX, I think this does better. So you do kind of have recreations of the previous three in some fashion. You of course have Kolomaru DX, which is just the DX version of our drive strip Bottleman. I mean, that's just kind of that. I don't know what to say about it. Similarly, you also do have a Raid Raid. This does have a drive strip in here, but yeah, it's a vertical shooter again. It's just kind of our DX Wonder Grape, effectively, although it's not, a Wonder Grape evolution, but whatever. We also, of course, have Kolomaru Energy DX. This isn't the same as 10 Satan, but you do have the extra tension here, so I decided to qualify it. And of course, you do have some extra stability. You can push in further. You also do have a drive strip in there. So overall, I mean, this thing, it's pretty nice. It takes what Kolomaru had, kind of adds what 10 Satan had as well, and does some of its own stuff. So I think, yeah, this thing works really well. It's a good power type, kind of a good ultimate power type, I would say. So that is really, really nice. And yet again, we have two more Bottleman releases. Did these do better? Like I said, I think they did. So first up, we do, of course, have Keps DX. This is a massive improvement over the original Keps, and this actually pulls from Blend Dragon, a multi-type, being a core that can shoot 2 caps. Definitely does feel like a multi-type or even like a special type gimmick, but I think it could also work as a power type, so sure. I mean, getting to fire 2 caps like that, that's pretty nice. Again, I think it does make power type stand out a little better. It's a good use of the power type, so I do like this one. We also have another solid one here with 10 Satan DX. Definitely a different way to use 10 Satan, but I mean, it works. With this one, you of course have the, wheels here on the feet and the larger wheels here on the wings, so you can kind of boost forward as you shoot, which, yeah, that works well as a power gimmick, I would say. Nothing crazy, but still much better idea than like ricocheting or something, or just being parts for a fusion. So I think DX actually does pretty well at making these things actually stand out more. That's cool. And after this, we do get to Bottleman Godcap, which unfortunately only has one actual new power type, but does it hold up? And despite my issues with Godcap, I would say it does. Trigger G. While seeing this kind of outclassed, I am just kind of qualifying this as, is it a good power type idea? And I think it is. Big cap. It is kind of annoying, wish they just went with a big cap core, but whatever. The launcher is fine, I guess. But yeah, being able to shoot a giant cap, like, that's just a good idea. Especially for a power type. Like, a giant cap, yeah, it's powerful. It definitely works well in the niche, so I do like it. Ultimately, I do think that we do have a pretty good variety of things in the power type. I think you get some good ideas. My main problem is that I just don't think there were enough. I think that the lines are a bit small, and Godcap is just Godcap. There's like barely anything. I mean, looking at like drive strips, the power buckle, other, tension-based gimmicks, vertical cores with, 2 caps, a boost gimmick. All these things are things we've had before. I guess aside from vertical cores, that's kind of Balman's, I guess, a new gimmick to add on to this type in a way, although I guess Decapi Tiger G did use it, but had a special cap, so I'll make an exception for it. But it's kind of the one downside is I think we could have used more special caps. I think the metal cap's a good one. It's just the Bottleman itself didn't really do a great job existing on its own. I think Dragger G here is a great example of a special cap. Using a big cap to really, do more. I think we could have gotten other caps that would have been really cool, but unfortunately we did not get that. Again, Godcap could have been that, but most of the releases were, just not actual new releases, so there's not much to do there. I guess the Ricochet gimmick is also unique, but, I mean, unique doesn't always mean good, so it just kind of exists, but I don't know. I feel like Bottleman did a good job at making certain unique things here. It's not perfect, but they did enough. But I feel like the things they did, again, they just didn't set up enough, didn't get enough releases. So, while there's a lot of good ideas here, and some actually I think executed themselves very well, I just don't think there were enough releases to really say it was great. It was definitely good, just wish we had more. And I feel like that's just kind of the sentiment with Bottleman, and basically everything I have to say for this kind of odd video. Again, I just want to cover the last type in something, so I thought this was a fine way to do it. But yeah, unfortunately, I think I only have like one more Balman video planned for this year. Maybe we get another one if I think of more stuff, but I don't know when that'll be, probably later in the year. But for now, that's all. But I can say at least one more at some point this year. We'll either get like a Balman Gen 2 or just a new Beatman Gen, so I can talk more about this stuff, because it is fun. It's just I've already talked about most things. So anyway, that's all to say, so thanks for watching, and bye-bye.